Hi everyone, Marla Miller from marlamiller.com presenting our 72nd free Critique Our Query session. But before I do that, I just want to give a shout out to anyone on YouTube or who is visiting marlamiller.com, just to let you know that the Marketing the Muse store is now open, and I have really good products for sale at incredibly low rates, truly, like from $1.99 to $4.99, and the tutorial in them is really very useful to authors on the road to publication, especially indie authors. And for those of you who are wondering in our indie reality why we need to write query letters, those workshops will definitely elucidate that. But let me just offer this. If you're going to be an indie author, you had better be blogging like crazy. And the way to blog is to get somebody's attention with a really fine hook. And so the query letter is not dead, it's just shifting. Okay, with that, I'm going to read. I think this writer has been waiting. Well, she hasn't been waiting that long. Okay, here we go. Dear Blank, we met at the Taos Writers Workshop in 2006. During our consultation, you read a chapter of my memoir in progress, Falling Away, and expressed interest in reading my work once I had completed the manuscript. I'm hoping your offer still stands. My 60,000-word memoir, Falling Away, tells the story of my teenage years during the 1970s. My father died when I was 14 years old, and my mother began a relationship with another man, a man who stalked and abused me. When I told my mother, she refused to believe me or protect me. Years later, my mother and I reconciled, but always our past would intervene on our present, causing me to pull back. When Mom developed Alzheimer's disease, I became her primary caregiver, attempting to keep her safe even as I struggled with the memories of her inability to do the same for me when I was a child. Falling Away weaves the story of my teenage years with the story of our adult relationship as I attempt to forgive my mother for the events in our past. Since a conference at Taos, I have completed an MFA program at Blank College in Boston, where I was fortunate to take classes from Sandra Schofield. I teach memoir at Blank Center in Minneapolis. I have published several chapters of my memoir, twice received the Carol Bly Award in Creative Nonfiction, and along with many other awards and publication credits. I've included the first few pages of my manuscript at the bottom of this email. Thank you for your time, sincerely. Okay, what do I think? All right, a couple of things. Now, this is one of those query letters that, had I not read the last paragraph, and follow with me on this, had I not read that last paragraph where this writer, offers her credits, and credits that seem to be related to memoir writing, very nice credits, I would have said that this memoir is superficially, the narrative arc is superficially developed. I'm still going to say that, even though this writer certainly has writing creds. By this time, she may, have already found a home for her memoir. But in the event that she hasn't, I think this query letter could be reworked. And here's why. The topic, and I don't mean to trivialize this, I worked in this area for many years before I shifted to the writing life. But the story that you're telling about a daughter being abused by a boyfriend or a family member and the mother not believing her is very, very common, unfortunately. And it's been written about a lot. So what are you bringing new to the table is what I want to know. If I were an agent, what is it about this story that's so darn fresh? What I think is fresh, and where I would lead, is this is a sentence that hooked me. But always our past would intervene on our present, causing me to pull back. When Mom developed Alzheimer's disease, I became her primary caregiver, attempting to keep her safe, even as I struggled with the memories of her inability to do the same for me. I think that's the story. That's the crux of the story. For me, it is. So I would encourage this author to explore that a little bit more. Perhaps lead with that. Maybe lead with an opening, open the query with a scene that shows this dilemma, because it is a dilemma, isn't it? That now she's expected to mother, or puts herself in the position to mother the mother who did not mother her. I think that's compelling, and I'd want to know more about that and how she worked through that as she was caring for her mother, and that would hook me to to say, you know, this memoir may be a bit different or may offer new information that I haven't read before about this crisis that happens in some families where a child is abused and no one protects them. So that's number one. Number two, she met this agent in 2006. So here's what I will tell all of you who are in a similar position. You know, where you've met an agent and they've given you good, feedback, and unbeknownst to them, your manuscript isn't done and isn't ready to submit to them. So what are you doing to keep your name in front of them? Don't bug them. But if you have an agent who's really, really interested in what you're doing, then I would suggest that, every couple times a year, look for that agent in the news, and when you read something about that agent or an interview that the agent did, send them an email and say, really enjoyed X, and when I met you at Y and you were interested in my memoir, I just want you to know that I'm very interested in submitting it to you when it's done. Whatever, but you see what I mean? Don't stalk them, but just put yourself in front of them professionally. And because 6 years is a long time. People 5 years, that's a long time too, even for people with my hair color. People come up to me, I've been teaching since like 2002, and writers will come up to me and go, oh, I was at your da-da-da, conference, and of course they remember because what it was that I said to them stuck in their heads, and I get that because I've been going to conferences for 25 years, and I remember every wonderful thing that an agent or an editor said to me, and I also remember the stuff that wasn't so wonderful. So I remember, but don't expect the agent to, don't expect the workshop leader to. It's up to you to keep your name alive in their memory bank. I hope this is helpful to this writer, and again, she can submit just as is, but she's got the skill to boost this query up so that the hook is really hookable, and I hope that she does that. Until the next time, be well, keep writing.